What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Namaste, Namaskaram, Ram Ramji, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm going to react to these branches of Hinduism. So let's check them out. I've heard there are branches. I've heard Buddhism might be part of it. I have heard Taoism might be part of it. But let's check out this video. You can tell me what you guys think, and also you can correct me if there's anything that is wrong in this video. I would love to know in the comment section. And if you are new, don't forget to subscribe, guys. Let's get it. Let's go.
According to many scholars, Hinduism is the world's oldest religion. Hinduism embraces many religious ideas. So for this reason, it's sometimes referred to as a way of life or a family of religions, as opposed to just a single organized religion. Right. And majority of those who practice Hinduism do not claim to belong to any particular denomination or sect of Hinduism. So with that said, it makes the term branches or denominations of Hinduism a bit different when we use these terms relating to religions like Christianity or Islam, where there's often disputes about which branch is the correct branch. So let's look at the four main branches of Hinduism and explore a bit more about how these branches came about.
Okay.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Leroy Kenton, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of FTD Facts. This is a channel where we love exploring the different countries, cultures, and people from all around the world, and we're diving into the world of Hinduism once again. There are four major traditions when it comes to studying Hinduism, right, and they are as follows. There's the Vaishnavism, Shaivism, Shaktism, and Smartism. Now, these Hindu denominations are traditions within Hinduism that center on one or more gods or goddesses. So they're sometimes referred to as denominations of Hinduism, and the terms denominations or traditions are often used interchangeably, so they pretty much mean the same thing. Now, these different denominations, they differ primarily in their focus of what deity is at the center of the tradition. So when we look at Vaishnavism, Vaishnavism is also called Vishnuism, and it's distinct because followers pay devotion to Vishnu and his incarnations or avatars. The followers of this tradition are called Vaishnavas. For Vaishnavas, there's absolute reality, or Brahman, is manifested in Vishnu, who in turn is incarnated in Rama, Krishna, and many other avatars. And when we break this down, we see that it is polymorphic monotheism, which means that it's a theology that recognizes many forms of one single divinity, since there are many forms of one original deity. Right. Through this, we have avatars. Through his avatars, the tradition states that Vishnu defends traditional righteousness in keeping the moral law, which is called Dharma. And among other popular names used for the Supreme Being are Rama, Krishna, Narayana, Kalki, Hari, Vithoba, Kesava, Madhava, Govinda, Srinathji, and Jagannath. Vaishnavism originated between the late centuries BCE and the early centuries CE, and it's really the mixture of the heroic Krishna Vasudeva, the divine child. And also mixed in there are Balakrishna of Gopala traditions. Vaishnavism comprises of many different sects and smaller groups that differ in their interpretation of their relationship between someone and the higher power or God. Then there is Shaivism. So in Shaivism, Shiva is seen as the supreme being, and the followers of Shaivism are called Shaivites or Saivites. Some trace the origins of this back to the Indus Valley civilization, which reached its peak around 2500 to 2000 BCE. Revering Shiva like this can be found all across India, as well as Sri Lanka and Nepal. Now, reverence to Shiva is very popular. It could have something to do with what the word Shiva actually means. And Shiva literally means kind, friendly, gracious, or auspicious. And when you use it as a proper name, Shiva means the auspicious one. And a name like that denotes success for people. So, I don't know, who knows? Shaivism has many different sub-traditions as well, and there's different variations of them just depending on the region that you're in. You're going to notice some differences there. There's a lot of literature also relating to Shaivism because I mentioned it is so popular, and there's also several different schools of thought. One of the other major branches is Shaktism. So Shaktism is a worship of the Hindu goddess Shakti, whose name means power or energy. The full form of the goddess's name is Adi Parashakti, and it's very popular in the states of West Bengal and Assam in India. In this tradition, the metaphysical reality is considered to be feminine as a metaphor. And then when we examine the Sruti and Smriti texts in Hinduism, we'll notice that they're very important to the framework of Shaktism and its entire tradition. Yogis regard Shakti as the power that lies dormant within the body as a coiled serpent. You may have heard the term Kundalini. So that's what that energy refers to, the coiled serpent, the Kundalini power. And followers of Shaktism believe that this must be aroused and awakened in order to realize spiritual liberation and freedom. On top of that, Shaktism is an important part of Hindu Tantra, the whole system of practices and everything. This is really designed to empower people so that they can just be free in their mind and their body. Now, before I continue with the facts in this, I cover in those videos. Now, the final tradition that I want to look at in Hinduism is Smartism. Now, Smartism is a bit different from other Hindu traditions because it's not just specifically about one god. It doesn't revolve around one god or goddess. Smartists is what you call those who follow Smartism. They may worship any god that they choose, but the most common of these gods are Shiva, Ganesha, Vishnu, Surya, Skanda, and Shakti as well. They're also open to worship any of the avatars of these gods. Now, the Smarta tradition developed during the classical period around the beginning of the Common Era. And the term Smarta also refers to Brahmins who specialize in the Smrta corpus text named the Griya Sutras. And when we look at the etymology of this word, the meaning of the term Smarta relates to memory or something that's recorded. So those are the four main branches of Hinduism, all of which have other sub-branches with different variations based on the region and also the cultural practices.
Have other branches.
Now, there are also many minor branches of Hinduism. Some of the main minor traditions are Shrautism. Now, they put a lot of importance on the performance of a Vedic sacrifice called yajna, where they place various types of offerings into a fire. Then there is Suryism or Sarism, and this is the worship of Surya as the main form of Saguna Brahman, which means the absolute with qualities. There's also Ganapatism, where Lord Ganesha is worshipped as the main form of Saguna Brahman. Kamaram is another one that's found in South India as well as Sri Lanka, and in this tradition, Lord Muruga Kartikeya is the supreme god. Then there's also Indonesian Hinduism, where the followers consider Asintya as the supreme god, as well as they view all other gods as his different manifestations. I also found some other newer forms of Hinduism, and those are Ananda Marga, Arya Samaj, Ayavadzi, Brahmoism, Prathana Samaj, Ramakrishna Mission, Sri Narayana Dharma Paripalana. Yeah, try saying that 3 times fast. There's also the Swadhyay Parivar movement and the Satya Sai organization. Now, with these different traditions, it's very common that you're going to find Hindus revering Shiva, Vishnu, and Shakti, as well as celebrating festivals that relate to them in different times of the year. Many Hindu temples also feature multiple gods in there, so you're gonna find a lot of overlap in the Hinduism traditions. But with the freedom that Hinduism really brings, there's not much division in terms of what is the actual right belief in Hinduism, because it's so liberating and so free and open in terms of what you can believe in the religion. That's why many people don't want to call it a religion. They just say Hinduism is their way of life. Hey, listen, if this attribute connects with you, you're free to believe in that. If Shakti and female energy speaks to you, well, you're free to revere that as well. All still seen as different manifestations and qualities of the Supreme Being, God. And that's all I have for you in this episode. Be sure to...
Amazing video. I think, you know, there are branches, the way that is said right here, it makes I don't know, it makes sense, right? Because all of it I have heard, or I've heard people explain it to me as Hinduism as a whole, as just one branch. But what he's trying to say here is that Hinduism is flexible, and you know, there are people who find it more comfortable and more, like, I don't know, likely to go in this direction of Hinduism. Some others will go in this direction, others will go in this and this, you know. And because, like, you form a group, like you have now 10,000 people going in this direction, and they may be like uplift Shiva mostly, so they have their own group, and it's now a kind of a branch. And then you have others here, they follow Kartikeya mostly, and Ganesh and all that is another branch. So that is a way that it has been done here, and that's how we're seeing it. But otherwise, that's how flexible Hinduism is. Like, it's still, one bunch, and they do their things together and all that. But it can be in branched like this due to what you want to uplift most and all that. And as it is a way of life, you cannot be like pushed, like, what are you doing? Don't do this, move in this direction. It's not like that. Anyway, much love to you guys. I appreciate you all. Take good care of yourselves. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comment section down below. But otherwise, until next time, take good care of yourselves. Peace.